Hey guys, it's Kevin, and this is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Apple had their annual September event a couple of weeks ago and they announced the new iPhone 14 lineup, which consists of the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone 14 Pro Max. They also announced the new Apple Watch Series 8, Apple Watch SE, Apple Watch Ultra, and AirPods Pro. But for now, this video will be all about the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Today, I'll give you my first impressions of this massive phone, so let's start off with the unboxing. Apple went back to a white box for the Pro models instead of a black box, and the top of the box now shows the front of the iPhone instead of the back. Just from the box, you can see that the notch is gone and it's replaced with a new pill-shaped cutout, which Apple calls Dynamic Island. They didn't need to name it, but it's the Apple way. To open the box, you pull in these two tabs. I kinda missed the plastic wrap ASMR, but this is better for the environment. Inside the box, you have the phone itself. And there are two new colors this year, Deep Purple and Space Black. I'll be sure to link this in the description box below. I went with the latter, no surprise. There's also the normal gold and silver. Upon first impressions, this color or shade looks awesome. But let's set that off to the side. Next, you have the Lightning to USB-C cable. Still no USB-C on the iPhone, maybe next year. Then there's the usual paperwork and a white Apple sticker. I have the US version, so there's no SIM ejector tool since this is now eSIM only. But yeah, that's it for the unboxing. Looking at Space Black again, I'm glad I went with this color. It's not as dark as Phantom Black on the S22 Ultra though. And here's a quick comparison to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. On the outside, it looks the same, but that's not a bad thing. I like the squared off edges and matte finish. Just add matte side rails and it'll be perfect. These are fingerprint magnets. The buttons look a little shifted on the 14 Pro Max, so if you're one of those people that put a case on your phone, I'm guessing it won't be a perfect fit. This iPhone is supposedly smaller and thicker, but we're talking like not even half a millimeter, so I don't really notice. The weight is the same as well. Apple removed the SIM card tray only in the US, and it's good and bad. It makes the phone more water resistant, but also makes it harder for traveling or if you switch to Android phones often. The camera bump is bigger, but more on that later. Just like the look of the phone, the screen is mostly the same except with three key differences: Dynamic Island, brightness, and always on display. Apple first introduced a notch on the iPhone X back in 2017, and 5 years later it's replaced with the Dynamic Island. I noticed the ear speaker is thinner too. This island is very fluid and responsive. I can listen to music, then set a timer, and jump between the two apps with ease. I need to test this out more since most apps aren't optimized yet, and if fingerprints will start interfering with the true depth camera. The screen can now go up to 1600 nits peak brightness for HDR content, and a staggering 2000 nits peak brightness when outdoors. That's a lot of nits. I'm in direct sunlight and I can see the screen clearly, and the Pro iPhone finally has an always-on display. The refresh rate can go as high as 120Hz to as low as 1Hz. So instead of waking up the phone, the time, widgets, and notifications will always show but at a lower brightness. The pixels aren't off like Android phones, but it's the Apple way. Inside is a new A16 Bionic chip. It's faster and more efficient, although I never found the 13 Pro Max or even 12 Pro Max to be slow at all. The battery capacity is about the same, but thanks to the new chip, Apple claims it's an extra hour of battery life. I've been using this for a day and I'm very impressed with the battery. I had about 4.5 hours of screen on time with over half battery left. This was with the always on display enabled and using wireless CarPlay for a couple of hours. Okay, the cameras are new and they're bigger. They're also thicker, so if you're like me and don't use a case, it'll rock on a table. Apple has been sticking with the 12 megapixel camera since the iPhone 6s in 2015, and 7 years later, there's finally a megapixel bump. The wide camera is now 48 megapixels. It's not the crazy 100 megapixels like the S22 Ultra, but I'm glad it's finally upgraded. For everyday shots, the camera will still bend down to 12 megapixels, but you'll get better detail and better low light photos. And if you want to take 48 megapixel photos, you can by toggling the Pro RAW settings. The photo sizes are a lot larger though, just something to note. And there's a new 2x zoom in addition to the normal 0.5 and 3x. Again, no crazy 100x space zoom like Samsung phones. So the iPhone 14 starts at $1,000, and the 14 Pro Max starts at $1,100. Storage capacities range from 128GB all the way to 1TB. A 1TB iPhone 14 Pro Max is $1,600. I think storage should have started with 256GB for a Pro iPhone. With the 48 megapixel ProRAW photos, which are about 75 megabytes each, and 1 minute of 4K ProRes video, which is about 6 gigabytes each, your storage is going to fill up fast. I have the 512GB version, and after downloading all of my content, I can only shoot about 1 hour of ProRes. And that's it for my initial impressions. I really like it so far. So should you upgrade? Well, if you're coming from the iPhone 13 or iPhone 12 lineup, or even the iPhone 11 lineup, the Dynamic Island, always on display, and better cameras are not must-have features. It's more quality of life improvements. In the upcoming weeks, I'll daily drive this for the full review, so be sure to hit the bell so you'll be notified when that video goes live. Let me know which color is your favorite in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, then you might like to watch this one on iOS 16 and the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!